True love and peace in a blended family can be hard to come by, especially in Hollywood. Between 5 daughters, an ex-wife and wife that are best friends, and health issues that caused him to leave his acting career, Bruce Willis has a story that you will die hard for. Stay tuned, Juicers, because today we are looking at Bruce Willis and Emma Heming's incredible love story.
No.
He's doing it already, I think.
No, it's all in good fun.
Bruce Willis is a legend in the film industry and has been featured in many iconic movies throughout his career. But he doesn't stop there. He is also a legendary dad, ex-husband, and husband. How could we forget the divorce of Demi Moore and Willis? Their 13-year marriage came to an amicable end in 2000. They separated in 1998 and 2 years later filed for divorce. When they submitted the paperwork, it was finalized the same day. We don't think you can get a quicker and more peaceful divorce than that. It was that same year that Willis admitted that he had no idea what went wrong in his marriage to Moore. When asked about the divorce, he said, "I still love Demi. We have 3 children whom we will continue to raise together, and we're probably as close now as we ever were. We realize we have a lifelong commitment to our kids. It's difficult to live your life in marriage under a magnifying glass, which is what happens to movie star couples." The couple shares 3 daughters together, Rumer, Scout, and Tallulah. It wasn't only their fans that were impressed with how well they handled the divorce, but their children were impressed with the way they were able to stay a tight-knit family after the split. They continue to do all the family events together, even red carpet appearances and movie premieres. And no, Bruce doesn't just have his 3 daughters by his side. He also has Demi right there with them. They made an effort to keep their family as a unit rather than 2 separate families.
That we were both able to be clear that our children were our priority, and that whatever we had was not theirs.
Bruce spoke on how unusual their situation was because everyone can understand resentment and envy in divorce, but can't understand when exes get along. Demi and Bruce made a choice to put their kids first, and it worked really well for them.
Put the kids first. Set aside your anger and resentment and whatever adult beefs you have, and put the kids first.
Moore even admitted that she was very proud of her divorce from the Pulp Fiction actor. "It wasn't easy at first, but we managed to move the heart of our relationship, the heart of what created our family, into something new that gave the girls a loving, supportive environment with both parents. We felt more connected than we did before the divorce," she said. Demi moved on to marry actor Ashton Kutcher, who formed a part of their blended family before he and Demi got a divorce too. It wasn't until 2007 that Bruce met Victoria's Secret supermodel Emma Heming. The couple didn't meet on the set of some big film, but rather through a mutual trainer's gym. Emma said, "When we first met, I was surprised at how charming and how funny he was, and extremely handsome." To which Willis added, "I was already in love with her." How insanely sweet is that? Bruce was blown away by their love story. The couple went on one date before Emma was getting ready to move back to New York, and they fell madly in love. When you think about where are you going to find that big love of your life, you seldom think it's someone you already knew. You think it's someone you've yet to meet, he stated. After a little over a year of dating, the couple tied the knot in a luxurious ceremony in Turks and Caicos. Heming Willis shared an adorable photo on Instagram of their wedding with the caption, "13 years ago, those wedding speeches really sent us over the edge." The couple welcomed their daughter Mabel in 2012 and their second daughter Evelyn in 2014. Although it was Emma's first 2 children, it was Bruce's 4th and 5th daughters.
A wonderful family that's at home, a husband and 2 kids and 3 stepchildren. So I have a nice, big, hearty, family that's extended, and it just means love. And I just think of joyful things when I think of my family.
The actor is incredibly close with all of them, and he's gotten used to being surrounded by a large group of women over the years. His eldest daughter once spoke about how her dad playfully puts pressure on her with her dating life.
You have 2 sisters?
I have 4 sisters.
4 sisters? Where are you in the...
I'm the oldest.
You're the leader of the pack?
Yep.
She was even quoted in an interview saying, "Over the quarantine, he was like, so I'd like for you to have a son because I need some male energy in this group. It's a lot of women, obviously. He has 5 daughters and my mom and my stepmom. so there's just a lot of female energy. Willis and Heming have an iconic marriage. They've been by each other since day one, supporting each other wholeheartedly. They celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary in 2019 with a sweet vow renewal ceremony. We said we do again, 10 years later, the supermodel wrote on Instagram. She seems to always be doting on her husband on social media. For their 12th anniversary last year, she wrote, "Boy, I sure do love this guy to the moon and back. Even though there have been times I would have loved to take him to the moon, drop him off, and come back solo. That's what 12 years of marriage looks like, right? There's no one I would want to go through this crazy thing called marriage with than with him. He's my family. He's given me the family I dreamed of, and I love him to my core." Not only are the couple madly in love 12 years later, but Emma also changed Bruce's perspective on love. "I went from love to love is truly the answer," he said. The couple is also known for giving us some glimpses of the physical side of their relationship, and Willis has noted how sickening they can be in public. He is fully aware that there is a rule for limiting public displays of affection, but he doesn't care. He's just loving his wife and letting the world know. How adorable. Not only that they're perfect together, but they're also blended family goals. Over the years, Bruce and Emma have developed a strong relationship with Demi. Moore expressed all of her love towards Heming and Willis on International Women's Day in March 2021, when she shared an Instagram post dedicated to the women that continue to inspire her every day, including the former model. She described Heming Willis as a beautiful mother dedicated to her family, an absolutely gorgeous woman, and she called them sisters. She wrote, "I see her as family, who I am honored to call a friend. Our children are sisters, and yet there is no name for what our family connection is to one another. We are mothers united, sisters bonded on this crazy adventure of life." They attended family vacations together and birthday celebrations. Moore was even at Bruce and Emma's vow renewals. Not only that, the entire family quarantined together amid the COVID-19 pandemic. That's right, they were under one roof for months. We're pretty sure for most couples it would be more of a nightmare to quarantine with their ex, but Bruce and Demi proved otherwise. Initially, Emma and her 2 daughters were quarantined in Los Angeles, instead of Idaho with the rest of the family.
And that Emma prefers sunny Los Angeles, and she's fine with Bruce being with his ex and older children.
Bruce's daughter, Scout, explained why. "My stepmom was going to come up here too with my little sisters, but my younger sister, who has never gotten to talk about not f***ing with hypodermic needles, found needles at a park, and she actually tried to poke her shoe with it and poked her foot." How crazy is that? As soon as some restrictions were lifted, Emma and the couple's 2 daughters joined the rest of the family in isolation. Although isolation with your ex and your blended family might raise a few eyebrows, they truly proved that they are one big happy family. Heming Willis even spoke on her thoughts towards Moore. "She welcomed me into her family like I welcomed her into ours. I have so much respect for how Bruce and Demi worked through their divorce to be able to put their children first. I learned so much from that and grew so much from watching that. It was important for her to be there." Moore said having their worlds come to a halt was beneficial. She even said their family, regardless of what shape it is, it's important to keep together. She also thinks it's important that Willis and Heming's daughters know her better so they can know their sisters better. But in 2022, things took a turn. Emma announced on Instagram that her 67-year-old husband has been diagnosed with aphasia. He is stepping away from the career that has meant so much to him. It typically occurs after a stroke or serious head injury and affects a person's ability to communicate. It can also affect other cognitive abilities. The diagnosis wasn't a shock to many who worked with Bruce. An insider said everyone knew Bruce was having problems, including the cast and crew of his previous movies. He was apparently needing an earpiece to feed him his lines, and it was becoming increasingly difficult to have him on screen. So difficult that a body double was being used, not just for stunts, but to maximize Willis's screen time. Thankfully, Bruce has a family full of women who are standing strong and taking care of the actor at this difficult time.
I still look the same way. 30 years later, I still look like that.
In the Instagram post that broke fans' hearts everywhere, Emma wrote, "We are moving through this as a strong family unit and wanted to bring his fans in because we know how much he means to you, as you do to him. As Bruce always says, live it up, and together we plan to do just that. It was even signed off by all his daughters, Emma and Demi. This heartbreaking loss for the film industry can only be excruciating for his family. They are staying together and showering the actor with all the love he deserves. His wife, Emma, is standing strong for her husband and supporting him through this illness. It's times like this that true love shows itself like no other. We absolutely adore this couple and the love they have for one another. But more than that, we adore how they have managed to have the best blended family anyone has ever seen.